Everybody. So my name's Taryn Fabacher. I'm the business manager here at District South, and we're with Hettich, the broker co-owner. And today we're going to be talking about our brokerage and how it involves the community and all the things we do to keep it running smoothly.
So we're super excited to just kind of educate people, just the general public, and just the internet in general on how our model works, how brokerages work. We get calls from new agents, existing agents, literally all the time, wondering like what do we offer, how we're different, how we run our business, because every single brokerage is different and they do things unique and differently. So that's one of the things that Taryn and I want to talk about today is
keeping it fun,
how we set ourselves apart in this busy and competitive market.
Yeah, and I feel like in Lafayette we're also very special to have the community involvement too.
In terms of the brokers, first, I guess maybe we'll start with talking about.
Maybe people don't know what a brokerage is.
Yeah, I just kind of want to talk about what is a brokerage, how it's set up, and how we roll. So how it works is there's a real estate brokerage, and under a brokerage there is a principal broker and also various associate brokers. The principal broker is the co-owner of the firm, Carrie Thayard. And I am an associate broker, but Carrie and I co-own the company together. And how it works is we set up the brokerage and we help, as the term suggests, broker real estate deals, bringing buyers and sellers together and helping them reach a sales price and bringing it to closing, coordinate, doing all the coordination from contact to contract, all through the various steps of the loan, title, and closing process. And that's what a brokerage is essentially a facilitator. Mm-hmm. And so we can't do it all on our own. Therefore, we appoint representatives to work on behalf of the brokerage, aka real estate agents.
Yeah.
And they are an agent for their clients, and they're appointed by us. And they have to have a special license to become an agent. And so each agent is actually a 1099 contractor. They are not our direct employee. They are a contractor. But what does that mean? That means that they pay their own taxes. They have to pay for all their own marketing. Mm-hmm. And they don't have the restrictions of like a normal employer-employee relationship. So, as you know, mm-hmm. As much as we would love for all of our agents to come to all the team meetings,
it's not.
There's no requirement. They don't have to come to the office.
No 9 to 5
for them. 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So it's a very self-motivated person, mm-hmm. and that's the kind of agent that we try to attract. And Carrie and I always say we are an agent attraction firm, not an agent recruiting firm. Most of the brokers out there, they try to recruit mm-hmm. new agents to their firm and because the more agents you have selling, generally the more money you will make as a brokerage. We don't like to go and do the recruiting model. Our whole ethos is have a great business model, a great brand, and a great community of agents that work for us and work with us, and similar agents that are attracted to our vibe, our business model, just our presentation, our professionalism. They will be attracted to our firm, and they will call us if they feel like
we have a unique model.
So in terms of how our operation runs, of course, we have Taryn, who's our operations and business manager. Literally, we don't even, half the time I don't even know what she's up to, but I just know that the lights are still on, so I know that something's going good.
We're going good.
We're still, the bills are getting paid, so that's good. But she essentially, runs the business side of things, and then Carrie does the brokerage side of things. So she does a lot of the compliance, legal issues, making sure everything is in line from a broker standpoint. Mm-hmm. And me as a co-owner and associate broker, I'm essentially the team leader and cheerleader.
Yes.
But of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means as being a team leader for our agents and leading them to hopefully a successful sale in our business. So give me an idea, or why don't you give us an idea in general of how it is to run this company essentially from the business side of things. And I'm probably going to learn something today too. Like what is she doing up there? I know she's doing stuff.
Well, first off, the agents love me because I cut their checks. So I also handle that. And then whenever they're coming, I'm just here to also be like the face of like, what do you need here today? Like making sure that if they need something to print for an upcoming closing or any like client gifts, I work with and be like, okay, what's your client like and what do you think they would like to get as a gift? And just little things like that. So being here for the agent and also in like a little bit of an assistant capacity, that District South is here to be an extra step for them so that they know everything that can happen here is always covered. So
yeah. I think that's a good point, because just following up on your point, when you say to assist the agent, because the agents are 1099, when they bring us a commission check from one of their sales, District South gets a small percentage of that up until the point that they cap. Well, it's in our best interest that they are well taken care of and that they're getting the best knowledge, education, selling the most amount of homes, feeling good about their business. Because if they're not selling houses and they're not feeling good, we're not making money and we're feeling bad too. I go out and recruit 10 more agents and instead of like recruiting 10 more agents to bring up our bottom line, we might have 3 or 4 agents that we already have that we can invest in them, knowledge, time, education, leadership, and help them sell more. And we'll make probably the same, if not more money, and hopefully gain their loyalty to our firm. Because agents, 1099, no notice, they can just quit on a dime and just leave. So not only do we want them to produce, but we want to also give them good service, because the public buyers and sellers are our clients through them. But ultimately, if you think about it, our agents are the brokerage's clients as well. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Whenever they are doing good, we're doing good. So
so we like to see them do good, and we like to see them grow, because like if they're making money and they're happy in their business and their careers, it just elevates the mood around the office. And I mean, every team meeting is And when they when a new agent, I'm thinking specifically of Bailey Bagnode, when she came in and she was so happy to bring in her first check, and then now she's been doing a few more deals. So it's like really inspiring to see her grow as an agent and being there for her in that process. So yeah, I definitely get that. Let's say good cop, bad cop. So I love to get in there, and really my whole goal is to motivate, educate, and inspire. I would say that those are my 3 things. So, and also
keeping it real with
keeping it real. Like, I mean, like if there's something, if the market conditions are not favorable, I'm going to tell them the unfavorable conditions, as you know. But even when you look at like right now, interest rates are quite high. You have some strain on the market. But like but in every sort of scenario, in every dark cloud, I look for that silver lining. So my whole goal is, when I sit down, I say, look, these are the market conditions we're facing. Here's some really positive things about this. Here's some negative things that's happening in the market. But even regardless if the market's really, really good or really, really bad, there's still going to be sales. There's still going to be opportunity.
Yeah, people got to move all the time.
People have to move. Like, people are moving and shaking and moving all the time. Changing jobs, life changes, having babies, getting divorced. Like, there's positives, negatives, a million things that cause people to move all the time. And so we look at opportunities within the market, whether it be good or bad. Now, to focus in on
that in.
But to focus in on like what's happening lately, of course, one of the things that we've been talking about is interest rates and slowing market conditions, and it tilting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. So I focus in on, okay, based on these numbers and this data and these conditions, you should change how you are marketing, who you're marketing to, price points, neighborhoods, parishes.
Changing the mindset, basically.
Changing the mindset, like, hey, you've been so focused in on this price point or this parish or whatever. And one of the things that you've probably heard me talk about over the last 12 months is focusing in on some of the ancillary towns. So as prices have gone up in Lafayette Parish substantially, there's a lot of, especially first home buyers or buyers that are looking for extra value, more land, more house for your dollar, etc. There's a lot of growth in your ancillary towns. So that would be Brokerage, Karen Crow, Doosan.
Can't forget Doosan.
Yeah, it's gonna don't forget Doosan. Yeah,
Doosan.
even like Maurice and that sort of thing. Like, I mean, and New Iberia is starting to see a lot. I see a lot of people like starting to do business down in New Iberia. I'm starting to see the pendings tick back up where it was unfavorable. I would say just weaker data, not necessarily unfavorable for some period of time. So I'm saying like, hey, you should target those because there's a lot of opportunity there. So I think
337 in general.
Yeah, and of course, like, so that would be part of the motive, and then one of the inspiration, so that would be education, motivation, inspiration. So of course, I'm trying to educate them. I like to talk about stats. I like to talk about numbers.
You're a numbers guy.
I'm a numbers guy because as the saying goes, or as the phrase goes, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter opinion. It only matters about the numbers, especially in business. And they're their own independent contractor. So what's going to help their business? Knowing the numbers, because then they know how to focus their efforts, right? So once we understand the numbers, then we can adjust our business model, and I want them to be able to adjust their business model to have the most success, and then they can use the various tools that we give them. Hey, here's some direct campaigns, indirect campaigns, social media campaigns, telemarketing type of campaigns, and we talk about these, and then sometimes we actually do more focused individual or workshop campaigns related to where those efforts should be put. So this is what what really sets District South apart, because I've been at 2 other brokerages. All of our agents have generally come from other brokerages, since we don't take really new agents. So when they come here, they go, man, I've never gotten this from any other broker, because most brokerages, all they do is come in, go get the business, sink or swim, figure it out. And if you don't figure out, you're out of the game. And
we're here to elevate everybody, so it's like a rising tide.
Yeah, rising tide. Like, we only win if they win. So that's pretty much it. And then of course as you know, like, I have that, I like to inspire. So a lot of times I'll bring in more philosophical, like, discussions into our agents to get them thinking about things bigger than just the next sale or the next transaction. So why is it? What is your why? Like, why do you want that sale? What is going to motivate you? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Where is that progression? Where is that? How can we turn these negatives into positives? Like, so try to, like, get them to see the positive, and then reflect and say, okay, well, one of the analogies I like to use, I've said this time and time again, is, and I know I'm talking a lot.
No, I'm trying to think of what analogy that you say always.
So one thing that I use, I don't want to overbeat it, but one thing that I like to say is, some people might be nervous, to do this videos on social media. Put themselves out there. Like, Juliet, like, loves social media videos. Yes. That was her thing. She wants our agents to do social media videos. Some, and there's value in business there. Some people don't like to cold call. Some people don't like to do certain marketing activities because it makes them, it's either expensive or it makes them feel uncomfortable, whatever. So I always say, like, if you know why you want the next transaction, what it is you're trying to achieve in life, and transactions help you get there, it's a weight. What's more important, your fear of doing the things that you must do to make your business grow, to get that client and to close that next transaction and get more business, and also solidify and broaden your marketing plan? What's more important, your fear of doing these things, or your goal, your reason for getting up in the morning, whether it be your kids or that new car, that new house, that vacation, whatever is motivating you to get out of bed in the morning, or whatever you aspire to be, usually when the agents reflect on these things, more often than not, they say, my goal is more important than my fear, and that helps them overcome and do the things that make them feel uncomfortable until it becomes part of their business. And once it becomes part of their business and they overcome that, they do it extremely, extremely well. So I think that is really important.
Yeah, and just also, like, we bring in also at each team meeting vendors and industry affiliates. So, like, having also those people come in and tell them, like, title companies, lenders, everything like that, and inspectors also, to kind of give them some different insight on their industries and how it relates to the agents, because what they're experiencing might be completely different from what we're seeing as a broker. So it's also kind of like to keep a different perspective in anything that they do.
Yeah, and full credit to you. You're the one who's the point person on networking and getting the right affiliates in to give that value to our agents.
Yeah, I don't want it to always just be like us talking. So, because like, most of the time
they get bored. They're like, Sean is scolding us again. Tune out.
So I like having our industry partners come in and give a little talk and see about what they're doing as a business, and so how it can help them as well.
Yeah. That's a wrap for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in.